Ellstrom here. Welcome to day 181 of our Be a Better You annual challenge. This year we're doing one thing every day to be a better person, a better version of ourselves, right? Because that's, in my opinion, the definition of a better person. You get to decide what better person means to you, like each and every one of us participating in the challenge, or everybody else on the planet for that matter, gets to decide what is a good person, a better person, a best person, the best possible person you can be for yourself. Well, today we're winding up the month of June, our month on contribution, with the IDEANCE process. And step 7 of our IDEANCE process is to educate. How are you going to share or teach others what you've learned this month about contribution, about the power it has to improve your life and the life of others, as well as just plain making the world a better place? The more positive we put out into the world, the more positive that comes back into our world. The more negative we put out into the world, the more negative that comes into our world. And so you get to decide each and every day, actually each present moment of every day, what are you going to put out into the world? Now, this step is all about sharing lessons learned, sharing and being an example and motivating other people by sharing your experiences. So today's challenge is to ask yourself, how will I do that? How will I teach what I've learned? How will I recognize what I've learned, which we did yesterday by celebrating? We acknowledge the lessons that we've learned, the things that might not have gone perfectly, as well as the wins that we want to celebrate for the contributions and the things that we've done. You know, just contributing and putting things out into the world and will make you feel better. But just feeling better isn't always enough. Sometimes we need to do more. Just doing the things. I'm a big believer in just doing the right thing, always doing the next right thing, right? And so I don't feel like I need to publicize it a lot, but I think I do a disservice by not sharing more of what I do, because I think it would motivate and encourage other people to contribute and do more than they're doing. Because I started giving and contributing before I had anything to give, or before I thought I had anything to give, by just helping other people, be kind to other people. If you have nothing else to give, you do have listening ears, unless of course you're deaf or blind like me, and then you might not be able to be a listening ear, but maybe you have hearing aids or some other way of doing it, sign language strategies, etc. But we always have something to give, even if it's just our time, our energy, our attention. Our attention is probably the biggest thing. I think as a race, we are becoming starved for attention, because we're distracting ourselves with all of the nonsense in social media, and we're using social media and streaming TV and other things as addictions and tools to not really pay attention to our life and to not really live our lives. And so I encourage you to encourage other people to contribute and help make the world a better place by sharing your lessons learned, by sharing your stories, by sharing this challenge and encouraging them to get involved in things that make them a better human being. Because the better we are, the better example we set, the bigger the ripple effect on the planet, and the happier everybody actually is. Most people who are evil and do bad things are not very happy people, right? They might pretend they are, they might fool themselves thinking that they are, but they're really not. If they were, they'd be living in gratitude, joy, love, peace, harmony, and things like that. They wouldn't be out doing evil things. All right, I'm getting off topic. So today, what are we doing? We are going to share in a comment below, what are we going to teach that we've learned? What's one thing that you learned throughout this month of the challenge about contribution, or one aha moment, or one lesson learned that you can share and teach someone else? Sometimes I just teach my granddaughters and share lessons with them. Sometimes I do a video. Sometimes I create a course. It's different based on what our skills are and how we want to share. Sometimes we just phone a friend and tell them. That is educating, teaching, and sharing what you've learned to impact positively other people on the planet, right? That's how we lead by example. So share in the comments below either a way that you're leading by example, a way that you're going to share to encourage others to contribute and make the world a better place, or what you taught somebody else that you've learned this month. I personally, from a selfish standpoint, would love to know what you've learned this month and talk to other people, but I want to hear everything you've got to say. So share in the comments below. If you have any questions, as usual, hit me up and ask. Just ask, right? I always admit that I might not know the answer, but if I don't, I guarantee I can help you find the next thing to do or the next resource that will help move you forward in your life. All right. Have an awesome day. And I'll, of course, be with you tomorrow.